Hey everybody, welcome back. Merry Christmas. This is the Christmas episode. Hope you guys are doing well out there. This is episode 15 of the Natives in America podcast. Me and Sky decided to change things up a little bit, and we decided to bring the latest recording that we just did, like the very, very latest one we did, and we're going to do this as the Christmas episode because of the subject matter. We decided to do a movie and review of Home Alone. So, you know, it's a little bit lighter. Like, I know 2020 has been pretty rough, guys. Like, it's Christmas 2020 right now. It's, you know, the year's wrapping up. And after all this jazz with with the coronavirus and like all the atrocities carrying out in the world, like things have been rough this year. I even had some rough patches in my life. You know, it's been a really, really crazy year, and now that it's wrapping up, I think me and Sky just kind of wanted to do something kind of light. So we're gonna review Home Alone. A few notes about the photograph. That's from a little gathering that I did with my family and the kids that we did. We had like a cookie decorating day, and this is a picture that I took with my camera phone. I know you guys know how I feel about the camera phone photo, but it's a ugly Christmas sweater, and we just broke out these kits, and we did a little thing with my son and my niece and my nephew and my mom and my sister and our dad. Well, he was there, and my sister's dude. So we just got the kids together and we decorated cookies, and that's what the photo's from. I hope that this episode finds you guys all in good health, and that you're with the people you love. And if you're not with them now, I hope, you know, at some point you get to go out there and see them. You're on your way. I'm really, really hoping that you know, tomorrow's a better year. We're gonna do a little bit later today. Me and Sky are gonna record the New Year's episode, and we're gonna do the year in review. So you can look forward to that next week. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. We got one more episode after this, I believe. Yeah, one more episode before the new year, 2021. And thanks for sticking with us. We got started it back in, I think it was halfway through June that me and Sky started recording. And then I think about early September is when we started sending them out. Like, we have been recording surprisingly every week. Like, I think what we originally were shooting for was once a month, and we wound up doing it every week since June. So I've been watching the numbers, and like our views kind of seem to be grouping at a certain number, like about 26. So I think it's I think I could say that there's at least 20 of you guys out there sticking with us from the beginning, and any of you newcomers, welcome. It's been a rough year, guys, and thanks for sticking with us. I hope you enjoy this episode. Again, it's episode 15, the Christmas 2020 episode. I hope you guys enjoy it, and Merry Christmas. And if you don't hear our next episode, Happy New Year, guys. You know, hang in there. It's another year. It's the end of the year. It's going to start again here, and let's here's to a better year, guys. Merry Christmas, and thanks for tuning in. Boom! The big red button is hit. All right, so we're live. We're recording here.
Christmas special.
This is the Christmas special.
Yeah. I just said that because it's like near. It's near.
You know.
And that's why I was bringing up the topic.
Yeah.
Pretty much, you know.
Well, sometimes I wonder about skipping forward and skipping back in our list of episodes. Like Like we want this one to come out around Christmas, don't we?
Oh, I mean, ideally, yeah, but then I think some of these episodes, we kind of warm up the topic. So
yeah,
I think it's all right if it comes out later. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we could put this one out tomorrow. You know, if it's Christmas worthy. I don't know.
Yeah. if it makes you feel very Christmassy.
Well, yeah, I think I'm down with that idea too.
I just realized I'm extremely dehydrated. Hey, Mr. Zip It over there, quit having fun. Okay, so we got damn it, still kind of vibrates. All right, I'm gonna turn it down. I'm gonna turn mine down one more little notch here. Okay. There we go. Okay, so Home Alone, the Christmas episode. We're talking about Home Alone.
Yeah.
Did you have something in mind to kick it off?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of things to pull from it.
Yeah.
But just how, I mean, I remember like being excited to watch it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was just the fact that this kid was doing these tricks and stuff, and I don't know, getting kind of left behind in a vacation is maybe not on the surface sounds bad, but there might be some good things that came out. It was an exciting plot.
Yeah.
And I was like, as a kid, it was like we was talking about a blank check. It was like almost like, hey, this would be pretty cool if it really went down or something.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how it was with the film. But, you know, it still holds up. And then I remember being excited about the second one too. Yeah, it was just a kind of odd movie, but it still had that, those Christmas endings.
Mm-hmm.
And then even his the relationship with the old guy and how that guy kind of saves him at the end.
Yeah.
But there's a Christmas spirit, sort of.
Oh, hell.
How they capture all that at the end. And, you know, everybody lives happily ever after, sort of. I don't know if it was a modern take on a Christmas movie, but, you know, it was more, there's action. There's a lot of, and I forgot John Candy was in it too. So there's just a lot of gems about it that
Wait a minute.
I forgot.
John Candy was in that?
Yeah, he helps the mom.
Oh, yeah.
He's in a polka band or something.
Yeah, that's right. I was watching Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and I couldn't figure out why John Candy wasn't, you know, driving around in a van playing music, and I couldn't figure it out. you just cleared up that mystery for me.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's a star-studded cast then, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like with comedy, like people that are just funny, like they could be playing a serious role, and it still has your attention.
Yeah. Well,
so,
anything John Candy, man, I've always enjoyed. I mean, he wasn't even the point of the film. I'm just saying, like, if I were watching the movie and then suddenly, oh shit, John Candy's in the screen, I'm like, oh. You got your computer open?
No. I know.
So it's not even with you?
I'm not even.
You're in the garage today.
Yeah. I'm in the dungeon.
Well, I'm trying to think. Like, how do you remember how old you were when that came out? I feel like I didn't see it in theater when the first one came out.
No, I don't. You know, I remember being excited because we rented it.
Yeah.
And that might have been part 2.
Yeah.
I don't know when the first one came out, but I mean, it being a Christmas movie, because like when it feels like Christmas film is a genre where there's a lot of movies in it, but you only watch them during Christmas time, I guess. Or
Yeah.
It feels like they're on during that time. So yeah, I forgot what we were talking about.
I just asked if you remember how old you were when the first one
No,
came
I don't
out.
remember how old I was, but I remember one of them. I was excited because it was like new, and you could rent it. And then we're all excited because we were gonna watch it later on that night when we got home.
Yeah.
That was like a long time ago, though.
So earlier you mentioned being home alone. You also mentioned like getting left behind on holiday. So I remember as a kid that a lot of times being left, like I think it had to be when I got a little bit older. I wouldn't quite say teens, but like there was a lot of times where if I knew I was home alone, I was like, yeah, like, this shit's cool. Like I'm gonna watch whatever I want. I got control of the TV, or like I'm gonna go outside and play in the yard or whatever. But I always felt like it was like a rewarding thing. But what's weird is like that's if I'm at my house, and then we start thinking about like being left behind, like forgotten, while they go off on vacation. That to me sounds freaky as hell. Like I'm kind of questioning how realistic that is. Like I know all about like rushing to catch, waking up late and rushing to catch the bus or the plane or whatever.
Yeah.
But so yeah, there is this like bit of like rush to it, and you forget shit all the time. But do you really forget a kid? So what I'm getting at is like if I were left, if say I kind of wandered off or didn't pay attention, and my family moved on in like a grocery store, I would start to freak out.
Oh yeah.
Like, where's my parents? Where are they? Like, start calling them. Then I don't see them. I start freaking out, getting sad. It's a totally different thing when you're at home. Like you're already in your safe place. You don't have to worry about strangers or. Well, I guess you do a little about strangers, but it's like there's a safety net there. It's like, oh well, I can just go lay down in my bed. Like when you're at the store, there's no ride home. There's no like reuniting point. Like we probably didn't even discuss, hey, if you get lost, meet me in the front of the store.
Oh yeah.
And I think even as a kid, you're not even like mature enough to go do like an overhead page.
Yeah, the protocol. You're like act hysterically and cry. So you recognize someone you know.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, no, that's I wonder if that's something you just got to experience as a kid, like suddenly being lost, or I was watching a little behind the scenes of Home Alone, and the director tried hard to make it seem realistic that he would be counted but not counted.
Oh yeah. That's an important part where they're like, the responsibility was kind of left on that other kid, the one that pisses the bed.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
you don't trust Piss Boy to get the count, right?
There was a neighbor that was like going through their shit in the beginning, and when they're all in a rush, and she counts him, and he wasn't really going. I don't know. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't catch until they showed it, but I mean,
that's interesting.
It's funny because realistically, you know, that's a very, you know, that's the thing is you can get away with film and stuff, but I would think there would have been someone to call. Like, man, there has to be someone in the hood, someone in the neighborhood that you could just say,
hey, could you please go make sure my son survives while we're on vacation?
I don't know, something like that, yeah. Or can you just look after him for a few days?
On the first one, they got on vans first, right? They got picked up in vans, and then they were on their way to catch a flight, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always not getting ready in the morning and rushing.
I think the only time I've experienced like, oh, where's my son, is like we'll be, you know, we'll be doing like a family gathering, which, you know, it's kind of rare these days now, but like we'd be like we got a Tucson house up here where we're kind of like it's a bunch of rooms, and a lot of times the kids are all grouped together and they're like running, you know, into this room, out of that room, screaming, you know, making all this noise, and then they're like, you know, and then all of a sudden you don't hear anything, and I start going, oh shit, like where's my son? Like wait a minute, like, or I'll be like in the conversation, we'll be having like a board game going on or something with the older kids, something with my mom and my sister, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, wait a minute, where's my son? Like, wait a minute, where the hell is he? Like, I'll see his younger cousins around, you know, the ones he was playing with, and all of a sudden they're there, but he's not there. And I'm just like, wait a minute, what the hell? I gotta run up and go find him. So, this whole, I mean, it's definitely plausible, right? To have a moment where you're like, oh, where is my kid?
Oh, yeah. Or even I saw that on like a crime doctor show, but they had switched the kids and gave the parents the wrong baby.
You mean at birth?
At the hospital, yeah. And
Jesus.
I mean, it's like, again, if it's in the genre of comedy, you can make light of that. Because I've seen that in actual, like, sitcoms where they're confused on whose baby it is, or they think one baby is another baby.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bit that's always been used. Leaving your kid, or you go on vacation and thinking that they're with you the whole time, you know, that could be a traumatic story, but then you could also sort of, and the comedy, was it the funny moments were only the bandits getting hurt? I mean, that's the most part I remember laughing and being excited about it. But like, were there any? Well,
all right. So it kind of came off as it came off serious almost the whole part.
Yeah,
I think in the beginning there's the whole interaction with the whole family, like they're all together. And, you know, the older brother's being a dick, and, like, they're fighting, and then the kid's like, hey, he's all slamming all those colas, and he's like, hey, kid, you better take it easy on that shit. We already packed the rubber sheets. Like that, I think there was a slight bit of comedy, but like, I think for the kids' sake, it's like you don't even know. It doesn't even feel like comedy. And we talked about this before about keeping kids' attention. I mean, that's a kid's show. Like, you called it Christmassy earlier. I'm like, yeah, it is, but it's more for kids. You know, that whole empowering kind of thing. And now again, I wonder if it would even keep my son's attention long enough to where he would want to even get to the whole point. You know, like if he would even make it to the point where they start being funny or where they start, you know. I remember being really scared of that fucking garbage man or the old man. He wasn't a garbage man, but he was like,
yeah.
He was freaky, you know. He had the big boots and he's all dark and he just didn't say anything. He would just stare like a dirty man. I mean, I think they always kind of added a little overtones of fear in there as well.
No, that was the point.
Yeah, and it's strange to think, like, I'm always comparing my childhood to my son's, and it's like, man, or any you know, today's generation, like old man, and I always think, like, man, like we had to be entertained by video, you know. There weren't big badass video games or like portable systems you can carry around, you know, your own tablet where you have total control of your own entertainment, which I think kind of desensitizes these kids to I don't know, playing along, watching a family movie together. It's like, man, this sucks. Give me my laptop, you know, like give me my Kindle back, because this sucks. It's not entertaining for me.
Give me your phone.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, my son's always like, Dad, your phone. Give me your bone. And it's like, man, like, well, no, get your own damn phone. I paid for this shit. And
you know, but it's no one else was trippy though. You talking about them being desensitized. As a tongue twister.
Yeah.
Some, and I learned this like the past week. So like, you know, the ability to use your imagination. Like, some kids are better at it than others. Like, some of the skill, and so it's like. And we talked about that in previous episodes where, like, I think we talked about, like, growing up and being an adult, and so you're sort of, like, I don't know, told to not just be daydreaming or, you know, to get your head out of the clouds, but I think some of that might be kind of connected to being imaginative and sort of kind of just having that wonder, and so they desensitize. I wonder how that correlates or is it connected to where the entertainment is weakening the imagination because it.
Yeah. Do you think that also kind of falls on the parents to teach a kid that? Like I kind of feel like imagining came natural, but at the same time, I wonder if, like, is that something that a parent has to instill in their kid? Like, hey, use your imagination, because I can't afford to buy you a fucking PlayStation right now. Take this can and think it's a robot and go fuck around in the yard. Like, get out of my face. Like right now, it's easy to just hand a game to my son when he starts getting annoying, but it's like, all right. We also have had times where me and him, we've been doing like fighting the zombies. Like I'll act like they're coming, you know, like they're coming, the zombies are coming, and we'll like run in the back and throw a blanket over our heads, and we'll get guns, and we'll like. What's funny is he'll build with these giant Legos. He'll make a big gun out of them, even though we have like Nerf guns laying all over the place. He'll build a gun. and we'll be like, so he's got that imagination going on, but like, we'll be under the covers, it's like, oh, they're coming, and all that, like I'm getting attacked, and he like shoots them off, and then we kind of added this thing where we heal each other's. He'll bring the blanket over and put it on my bite wounds, and so there's like imagination going on there, and I feel like he was already capable of it, but you kind of stoke it like a fire, like you.
Yeah.
And the only way he really does that now, like besides this whole entertainment by computer, is he's entertained by me, and that takes effort on my part too. Is like I gotta take the time to play with him. I can't just shove him off and put him on a game every time he starts, bouncing off the walls. So I kind of wonder, like, are we born with this ability to imagine, or is it taught? What do you think?
I think it's a little bit of, might be a little bit of both. I mean, maybe someone develops their imagination skills by having neglect and not having no one in their life, but then it could be just as strong as somebody that had people to put in the time and but yeah, I mean that's almost I guess what is the imagination, because to me it's kind of an internal thing to where you're bringing it out.
Yeah. So
it's like sometimes you can keep that in and still be going with it, but like, to include it with somebody else, I think that's more bond building than imagination. Like, we just built a straight imagination today. I think it's more, like you said, putting in the time.
Yeah.
But I think the time is more of the bond. But I think I'm getting off topic. But
yeah, no, we totally are, but we're still. I mean, this is a kid movie, and we're kind of talking about kids and ability here.
So anyways, it was like when I heard this, like some kids just don't use their imagination. Really don't. Some other kids might be better at it than others.
Yeah. Well, I kind of.
More.
Go ahead.
I was just more thinking someone that can use their imagination and like how do you not how do you not hold that back from them? It seems like sometimes we can tell somebody not to do something, but it's only for our own reasons, and yet they're doing it for their own reason, and it really has nothing to do with the reasons why we don't want them to be doing it.
Yeah. Well, I wonder about the kids that just get put aside. Like my mom always tells me stories about me playing by myself. So like I'll be sitting in the corner and I'll just be playing, singing and fucking imagining scenarios. I had a strong imagination because I had to entertain myself a lot. Like my mom worked a lot of hours. Sometimes my dad would take off. Other times he'd be there, but he'd be watching TV. So like it wasn't all very entertaining. So I had to. There was a lot of time where I had to entertain myself.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like I was one of the kids that had a strong imagination. Now that I've said it out loud, I was thinking before that I said it out loud that growing your imagination is more a sign of your parents spending time with you. But now that I said it the way I grew up, I think it's more a little bit, a little healthy neglect, a little left to your own devices type of thing, which now makes me think imagination's kind of you're born with it, then taught it, because I had to. Like, it was almost out of necessity. Like, I didn't always have toys, so I had to make things toys, like regular, ordinary objects became toys.
Yeah.
Like, I used to take twist ties, that came from, like, Bashas' for the vegetable bags and all that. I'd take those and I'd wire them and turn them into little people. And then I'd act out, whatever I'm playing with in wire people. Now, that's a great deal of imagination because, otherwise... my son's climbing on me. I don't know. If I had the army man, I'd just have an army man. I wouldn't have to imagine something is a man, or a person, or a warrior. I was taking these weird objects and making them something else.
Yeah.
So maybe we're born with it.
No, I definitely can. Like, I second that. Like, we're born with them. I also see how mine might differ from yours. There's been a lot of. Well, I guess even measuring your imagination to someone else's.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a possibility, but then.
Well, we can imagine it.
I know, but what do we say? What do we say? But what do I hear when it's like kind of like when you're insulting, giving somebody an insult, where you're like kind of saying that they're dull or they're
unimaginative.
Yeah, like it's being imaginative. Like you said, necessity, or is it just something to fill up time, or is that pretty much the same thing? I don't know. But Home Alone.
All right. So we talked about imagination, a little bit of neglect, the possibility of actually forgetting your kid. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. Realistically, could a kid defend himself? Because I remember as a kid watching the movie, I felt like, oh wow, I want to do that. Like, it was funny. You kind of wish somebody would try to break in your house, which is weird. It's like, man, I need some robbers to come try to rob me, and then I'll build traps to trap them. And I don't know. It's like violence inspire mayhem kind of shit. Like, I wanted some of that. I wanted a piece of that.
Yeah.
And, could you have come up with a trap at his age? Because everything he did, it was like in response to something they do. He wet the ground in the back on the stairs in case they came down the stairs. Yeah, and then he hung paint cans on the railing in case they came up the stairs. You know what I'm saying? Like he had scenarios played out, and he's like, if they stick their head in the doggy door, he'll be sitting there with fireworks and fucking BB gun.
Yeah.
I don't think at that age I would have had that ability.
Now looking back at all that, that was kind of like that's very Chuck Norris-esque. You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of just kicking ass, and he was, I guess, maybe that's what was exciting about it too, was he was just a kid, sort of, like taking on these two dudes, and Now there's some scratch on him. When I think now I look at that now. It's like, yeah, that was probably because of the whole just, that character where you're, just unstoppable, or you're fucking Rambo, in the jungle. But this was a kid in his house.
That's a great comparison, by the way, because Rambo did that shit all the time.
Yeah.
Set up like all these attack points and choke points, and like, all right, they're gonna do this, so I'm gonna build something here that's gonna get them here, and he's invincible. He just keeps going, doesn't get caught.
I can't remember how old he was, like in the movie.
Oh, dude.
It might have been 10.
Really? I was thinking like 7 or 8, maybe.
Maybe. I don't remember, but
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
He done some ninja tactics.
I kind of want to see if my boy could watch it, because I bet he'd enjoy it. I mean, I feel like I'm always like trying to get him started on something early, because he seems mature to me, but I keep remembering, all right, he's 3. Like, I'm like, oh, these kids today, they don't have the attention span to do that, but he's 3, it's like, all right, maybe at 5 he'll be totally into movies that I could watch with him. Like The Blank Check. Like, I got to watch that with his older brother and sister, and they loved it, but they were already like, I want to say they were like 8 and 9, maybe 7. I think his younger sister was 7. Or, well, she's his big sister, I'm saying. The older brother's younger sister. So, maybe age is a huge factor. I was just thinking too, like where the guy gets electrocuted in the basement. In order to pull that off, you don't just throw a cable in some water. It's like you gotta have power going in and power going out. So there's a circuit. He had to understand circuits at whatever age he's at. Like, a lot of this stuff is, maybe the traps weren't so sophisticated as so much as the electrical trap, but the planning of something happening, one situation being dealt with another trap, it took a lot of planning. So maybe the traps weren't all that sophisticated, but the planning was. And I don't know if you've ever played around with traps and shit, but like there's a difference between a trap that you want to work, and it, like say you set up a trap where somebody opens the door and the trap throws something at them. If you got a dinky ass trap, maybe it's a Nerf ball. The Nerf ball just bounces off their chest and it's over. But you hit them with a paint can swinging down from 20 feet above, a full paint can, swinging, that'll knock you on your ass. So, like, there are some really, it was very sophisticated, some of these things. Like, they put an adult grown man on his ass.
Yeah. I forgot about the treehouse, dude. Remember he was...
Treehouse?
He was able to leave the house to a treehouse.
Was there a zip line?
Yeah.
I feel like there was a zip line.
I think so. I mean, I think it was like, too, like, when you were talking about planning stuff in your house. Like, a lot of times I guess that was a big ass house.
Yeah.
And he could do all that shit.
We didn't have those big ass 2-story houses on the res.
And
we knew nothing of growing up with a staircase.
We didn't have basements or attics.
Yeah, that's some East Coast shit right there.
So it's almost weird how the comedy part was just very much in line with this thrill of, this kid kind of being, I say he was being traumatized, but he was definitely like playing with people he shouldn't be playing with, or interacting with adults that.
Didn't he have a gun too, or was that in the second one?
I think it was a BB gun.
No, not the kid, the robbers. Didn't Joe Pesci have a gun? I remember him having a gun and it was like covered in oil, so he couldn't work it. I feel like that was either the first or the second. It might have been the second one.
I think that was the second one.
Yeah.
The second one was weird because, like all sequels, they pretty much redo the first.
Yeah. Or they try to build off of it.
But the old ones, they placed the old guy with the weird bird lady.
Yeah. So there was this weird person that became something else. That you see him one way, then you meet him, and there's somebody else.
That's a Christmas miracle.
There you go, right?
Well, so
very, very Christmassy.
So in all this, again, very Chuck Norris-esque, like in all this chaos and kicking ass and taking names, he teaches a Christmas lesson.
Yeah.
To an elderly person, or I don't know. That's what I mean. Like it still follows the Christmas guidelines, like the Christmas film guidelines, where there's a resolution and you teach somebody something, or there's a bond that's solidified. I don't know. It's just, you know what I mean? Or
no, well, you're talking about the Christmas model of transformation, and
I guess so.
Well, you're a creative writing major, right? It was creative writing you got your bachelor's in?
Yeah.
So, wouldn't you say that, it was Christmassy, but isn't that like kind of the basis of all stories ever told? Is there's, a character, an issue, or, some kind of problem, some kind of conflict, and then the person and maybe the people they know become transformed by it. Then they learn a lesson. There's a denouement, as Mr. Hardy taught us. And I don't know. What are you getting at? Like the Christmas miracle, and I was like, the way it all played out was very Christmassy. But at the same time, it still followed the guidelines of all stories. All stories, every story ever told.
Yeah, you're right. But I think.
Am I though?
No, but not all stories are set during Christmas time, and the Christmas film era, the genre, that whole. It's snowing, people are singing, there's presents.
No, it was definitely Christmassy.
I don't know. I mean, I will put it in the Christmas. I will play it during Christmas.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting point, because I don't think I would watch Home Alone, any other time of year. I might have, but I'm saying it's definitely a Christmas movie.
Yeah. I guess it's just weird how the characters are are renewed, but the fact that he's a kid and he's, you know, like fixing the old man's relationship with his son, and
oh yeah,
and then the old lady, the bird lady, he's kind of like telling her that they're friends forever.
Yeah, she can trust people again.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm your friend, and she's like, oh, you know, people suck, guys. I don't want to trust people anymore. Don't make a promise you can't keep.
And then the whole bird, the whole symbolic thing with the tree, the birds, and then he got it from the store, and that guy taught him the meaning of it. Like, they play off of his innocence.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why it's able to be a Christmas movie, because it's like, it always ends in that Silent Night kind of vibe. With a choir, or the you know, it's a Christmas movie. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of them end in that.
Yeah.
In that setting.
Oh god.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, this kid is doing a lot in the movie. But then I kind of wonder too, like, did he get his, you know, portion of the reward? You know, like how we see adults and kids, like, you know, because he was a youngster, and now the film has had all the success. Does he get his portion of the reward of making it? I wonder how Macaulay Culkin sees the film now as an adult.
I wonder about that all the time. Like, I still see him now, like every now and then. He's like, you know, he looks like he's high all the time and whatever. He's a grown man, but he's still Macaulay Culkin, you know. And it's like, I wonder if it's like the bane of his existence. Like, I'm the kid, yeah. No, I didn't build any of those fucking traps. You know what I mean? Like I mean, a lot of people who are celebrities, they're like, oh yeah, hell yeah, I did that shit. That's all me. I'm that guy. But like, I wonder if he sees it that way. Cause I feel like there was a period in his life, like, where he kind of broke out and was kind of fighting that image. You know what I mean? Like, he was trying to be an adult, trying to do like adult things.
Yeah, no, you see that with a lot of rappers that were like child stars. Now that they're older, people know them as who they were when they were young.
Yeah, so like they're like forever young. They're forever babies.
Yeah. Well, isn't that like that with... I freak out with my dad's older sister, Frances. Like, I don't see her all the time, but when she sees me, she says, "Hey, baby," like, you know, like, like what? Like, I get
cutie pie.
She talks to me like how she would talk to me probably when I was just a kid running around, and
you're like, shit, lady, I'm a fucking man now.
I can't. I gotta go with it. Like,
you're like, oh yeah, I'm a cute boy.
I'm a baby.
I'm a big boy. Huh. Yeah, I wonder about that all the fucking time. like seriously, whenever I see him, I'm like, I wonder how I would be if I ever met him. Like, oh yeah, what's up, dog? Like, yeah, you're cool. You're an adult. I'm an adult. It's all good. Or would I be like, you know, slap my face and be like, ah?
I'm an adult. You're an adult.
You got a dick. I got a dick. Yeah, it's all good. High five, bro.
Why are we talking about this?
Oh, we were just talking about Macaulay Culkin and how.
Oh, okay.
You know,
yeah.
What he thinks about the movie now. What he might think about the movie now.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad you went there. I wanted to ask if you've seen a movie called The Good Son.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie.
Because I mean, he's still that age. Like he made that movie, and him and the other kid was also one of these child stars.
That's Elijah Wood. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Frodo.
Yeah.
All right. So the other kid was Frodo, and it was Macaulay Culkin. And Macaulay Culkin was still, like Home Alone 2 age. And that movie was fucking dark. Like, last time, like, I don't remember the last time I watched it, but when I watched it, when the movie's over, it's like, damn. Like, damn. Like, that's just dark as fuck. And I don't see it that way. I don't feel that way after Home Alone, I feel all cheery and hopeful. It's got that Christmas magic on it, that Christmas stank. It's like, oh yeah, like I feel good and Christmassy and warm inside. The family's been reunited, and those robbers got what they deserved,
Santa saves the day.
Yeah. And also, I don't know if you saw The Family Guy.
Kids say Santa?
No, Kids Say Santa. It's like, I think what they were trying to do was like, what would really happen if some kid tried to take on robbers and like the robbers enter the house and he's like, come and get me, and they just shoot him. They just shoot him in the head and he just dies right there. It's like, all right, let's rob this house now. You know what I mean? Like, if they had a gun from the get-go, and he's trying to pull all this kiddie shit with traps, all these elaborate traps, and then they just fucking shoot his ass. End of the movie, right there. Roll credits.
Damn, that's like a... What do they call that?
Reality check?
Maybe, but almost sort of like different. Like if I was Home Alone, it was set in it wasn't a comedy, but it was still a Christmas in the Christmas time. And instead of it being a successful thing, it was actually like a pretty harmful one, and things didn't go the way it went in the original one. It was almost sort of like realistic. I don't know where I'm going with that, but yeah.
Alright, bro, I gotta take 2 seconds. I was afraid this was gonna happen. I've got to go play my daddy role in the bathroom real quick. I'm going to leave the mic running. I'm going to be gone for a couple of seconds here. And feel free to entertain the audience here. I got to go do my civic duty here. 1 second. I'm going to leave it running, so feel free to keep talking. Just not to me, entertain our audience here.
Okay.
Do a card trick.
A card trick? A card trick. Hey, you guys out there? Merry Christmas. And have a Happy New Year. And if you hear this after that, I meant for you to hear it before this. You guys are late. Or bobsleigh. He didn't put it out yet. Peace.
Now you're in the hot seat. It doesn't feel good, does it?
Pressure. Felt like Peyton Manning.
Felt like Peyton Manning? Had to make that pass?
I don't know why I said Peyton Manning.
I don't know, bro. You're the man with the golden arm?
Feel like Aaron Rodgers. Yeah?
Aaron Rodgers, yeah. Hey.
Nick Foles.
Great quarterbacks for sure.
Nick Foles is my homie, man.
I don't know who that is.
Nick Foles, he was, Philadelphia won the Super Bowl?
Uh-huh.
Like a few years back.
Okay.
Nick Foles was like, I think he was like the third string, like the main quarterback got hurt and the second one got hurt, and he's from the U of A.
Oh, no shit. Didn't he play? Didn't he play at the U of A too?
Yeah, he was the quarterback.
Didn't they have a great year, a great season when he was?
Awesome.
I felt like they were winning a lot.
It was awesome, man.
I actually might have seen one of his games.
You probably did.
I think we had gotten free tickets at some point, and we went, and I think Foles was quarterback.
Yeah, dude, I would see him around campus, and I just like I didn't talk to him. I just say what's like from far away, just say what's up, Oh, but
you walk by him like Foles.
Yeah. I do that with the basketball team too. Or players that I knew.
Cool.
But yeah, Nick Foles, man, then he won. He was the quarterback for the Eagles.
Awesome. Third string.
When they won he got bumped up, all the way to win the Super Bowl.
Nice.
And he got paid.
He won one for the Gipper.
Man, so what? Wait. What are we talking about, though?
Just being on the hot seat.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was making balls with it.
All right, you brought up that quote. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and a Happy New Year. I have to ask this: is that a real fucking movie?
That's not a real movie.
It's not.
Nah, they made it themselves.
Was that Gene Hackman as the fucking guy?
I don't know.
Ever since, like, once I got a little older, but I was still watching Home Alone, I always wondered, I've seen quite a few black and white movies because my parents were like older when they had us, so like I was into the shit they're into, this kind of how it works out. Like you watch the movies your parents watch, you listen to the music your parents listening to, and I always wonder, like, is that a real movie? And you're saying no?
Nah.
Interesting. I always wondered if that quote was actually from another movie and not, just that scene.
And it's a movie in the film.
Yeah.
In that universe, it's a real movie, but you gotta go to there first. No, they made it, to pretty much fit the sort of film within the film, man.
So yeah,
which is awesome.
I believe you, but my Tommy gun don't. Shoots the place up. That's why I'm gonna give you the count of 3 to get your lousy, low down, 2-time 4 flushing ass hell out of here. Doesn't he count like to 2 and then just shoots the shit up? I don't know. I gotta go back and watch this fucking movie.
It's believable that it's a real movie, though.
Yeah. Well, I always wanted to know what it was, and you know, we didn't have Google back then.
Yeah. That's cool. I mean, that's
For the kids listening, Google wasn't always in existence.
You can always just Google it.
Yeah, you can't always just Google it.
Sometimes you just had to wait till.
You kind of just didn't know. You just wouldn't know the rest of your life. It was like, all right, well, hey, was that a real movie? I don't know. And that was the end of the conversation.
What was that guy's name?
I don't know. Oh, okay, cool. Then you just go on with your life. It's like, no, let me Google it real quick. It's like, shit.
What year did that come out? I don't.
Fuck if I know, man. Oh, okay, cool. End the conversation right there.
Yeah. Darkness.
Okay. So one other thing I wanted to bring up there was a Home Alone 3, wasn't there? And it wasn't Macaulay Culkin?
And I really don't know the premise of it.
See, that's it. Like, I know I watched it at least once, and maybe got forced to watch it a second time because, you know, some kids growing up wanted to watch it, and I was a little older. But if Macaulay Culkin, if you're listening, there's only 2 Home Alones in my life. You should know that, Macaulay Culkin, if you're listening.
Because we were supposed to have this podcast like a week ago. And so I was thinking,
were we?
Yeah, or we just jumped out and started talking about other things.
You're right.
We never got here.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that too, because I was like, I just want to talk about the first one. I mean, the second one was cool, but then I know nothing about the third one. But I was like, why is the third one a one that's off the? Well, is it because Macaulay Culkin's not in this? Why I don't want to watch it, or I was like, what is the meaning behind this comfort of?
My first impression is that they went way the fuck wacky. You know what I mean? Like, it was totally kid movies. Like,
yeah. Like,
first and second one, there was fear too. There was a dark side to it. Huh?
It went PG.
Yeah. Or even P. Or you know, whatever's less than PG.
I haven't watched it yet, so but it felt like what you're saying. Like, it went wacky versus like it wasn't no actual harm. It was
yeah.
Very nerve.
There was never a sense of danger. There was I think he was even using like drones or remote control cars to do all this shit. Like it was ridiculous. Which you know, we've already said, you know, Home Alone 1 and 2 are kind of ridiculous. Yeah. But they took it that whole extra step further, and maybe if they did the exact same thing with Macaulay Culkin, I still wouldn't watch it. Like that movie doesn't exist to me. I will not buy the third one and show it to my son, but I'll definitely want him to see 1 and 2 for sure. My son just yelled out "burn."
I think I want to watch the third one.
I think you should, just for context. I might have just spoiler alerted it for you.
Is it the same family, or is it?
No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think it. Shit, is it? No, there's no way. I'm pretty sure the kid's even younger.
I know that, but I was like, is this the same family that I forgot?
You forget your kid once, you lose him a second time. Like, number 3 shouldn't exist.
It's like, well, there's so many kids. Was it just because there's a lot of kids and easily you can get counted out?
There was a shit ton of kids, and one of them was kind of his size.
So.
And then the second one, it was the dad. There was a guy that had another jacket that matched it. So when he was running through the airport, he was chasing the guy that looked like his dad, but it was just his jacket. And so that was number 2. The first one, there was the kid that looked like him. Or remember, they were like, "Oh, pass this to." What's his name in the movie? I want to say David, but that ain't right.
Who? Macaulay
Culkin.
Kevin.
Yeah, okay. So like, pass this to Kevin. They're like, oh, they pass it back, and they're like, here, Kevin. And he looks, and then someone else is like, Kevin's not here. Oh, that's the second one. So I don't know. Somebody lost count in the first one.
No, well, so I was watching that too, and they
No, he didn't wake up.
Yeah, he didn't wake up because they got pissed at him and he had to sleep.
Up in the attic.
But
no, they said you got to share the bed with the piss kid, and he's all sliming soda, so he's like, I'll chill in the attic. Fuck that. I don't feel like getting peed on.
Yeah, something like that.
We got to go back and watch this, dude. We're terrible at research before we do this shit. I got to go back and watch these movies.
Yeah, well, that was pretty. I think that'll be a good way to draw points on what we're going to be discussing. Like if you watch it, I'll watch this film, you watch it, we'll discuss it.
Well, that's kind of what we were talking about with the smoke signals.
Yeah.
I actually own smoke signals, so I could actually easily do that. I was tickled to death when you came on and you had like facts. You had like points and facts to share, and we just went down your list. I was tickled to death. I was like, this motherfucker did some research.
Yeah,
that was entertaining.
I was in the zone, but why did that work?
I don't know, bro.
That one we could still be doing because it was on guitars, and I think like us talking about guitars, I think we could just probably go on for years, you know. Talking about guitar players and even songs and just guitars are all linked to all of that. And
yeah.
So.
Well, no wonder you put more effort into it. It involved music.
Maybe.
You're a musical guy.
Speaking of that, my niece, she's gonna be 2.
2?
Or she's 2 now. But
is this a second niece?
Yeah.
Okay.
She wanted to play with this toy, and she couldn't reach it. And so I went and was, what toy are you talking about? And there was this weird instrument I gave my brother. It's like it's like a trumpet, but it has a keyboard. So when you blow into the trumpet, it's making keyboard sounds.
Yeah.
And she wanted to play with that. And so I was like, all right, but it's missing a piece, so it doesn't really work as well. But you can still kind of play it, but you gotta pretty much like put your whole mouth where there would be like a flute thing.
Yeah, like a reed.
Yeah, exactly. And she couldn't play it, but she was still making up sounds. And And then when she saw me play it, then she was like, "Oh, it works." And so, but then she was still just like, I don't know if she was hearing sound. I was like, do you hear music or do you make music? Like, are the sounds already in us? We know where they're at, and we just got to find them on the instrument. Or are the sounds always been there, and we're just tapping on them? Like it sounded like that forever. You know what I mean?
Well, that's like when I first gave my son a harmonica. I would play it for him and then hand it to him. He'd like stick his whole mouth on it. There'd be drool like dripping out the front, and I would play music. I can barely play a harmonica, but I'd be like blowing through and getting the notes. And then when he put it in his mouth, he was like blowing the sound into it. Like he was trying to make the sound with his mouth into the harmonica. It was just funny to watch, but like after a while he got it. And like me and Derek would be jamming, and he'd be playing the harmonica.
Oh, nice.
It was pretty cool to see. That's pretty cool. I was really proud of him.
Yeah. No, that's the music. I guess the concept of music and how you can not only listen to it but figure it out how to make it, and even if it's just a sound that you want to hear.
Well, I think this brings us back to the beginning when we were talking about creativity and imagination. Like you're talking about figuring something out, and I kind of want to do the comparison. Like, all right, figuring something out or being born with it. When you hand an instrument to a kid, they watch you do it, and then follow after that. So, say he didn't know how to blow into the harmonica. He made his own sound through it. Kind of makes you go back and think, okay, so did we figure out how to imagine something, or were we taught it? Like if you go back and bringing us back to the movie, where the hell did this kid learn all these traps? He would have had to learn how an electrical circuit works to electrocute the guy. He would have had to understand if the stairs get wet, they're going to turn to ice. And he had to figure out if he tied these strings on a certain part on that rail, they could possibly hit somebody in the face. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of figuring out and creativity, and when we think how realistic is this whole defending the house mode that he's got going on? What do you think about that? Like I'm not even making a point. I'm just like setting this up, but not doing a great job here.
You were making such a great point, and I was not even taking notes.
I do that shit all the time. You're making points, and I'm just kind of like,
It was so well said that I didn't even remember.
All right, there you go. Thank you. You can wipe the brown off your nose now.
Because it made sense, and I know that.
I was trying to bring it to a question, and I lost the question halfway through it. I think it's like I think we're just coming back to the idea, like, how realistic is this movie, and does it really need to be realistic? Like, I think it's entertaining.
Yeah, no. I guess bringing in the reality of the whole movie is maybe not such the best thing, because then we start to like, oh, could he really have done that? And like what you're saying, the circuit. I don't even remember that part, but
I think it might have been in the second one.
Maybe, yeah.
I think they get covered in kerosene or covered in like paint, and he has to walk over and wash it off at a sink, and then he grabs the handles and he gets electrocuted.
Oh,
that might have been the second one. It was in like an old house. I thought it was in the basement of the first movie.
Well, and that one is when he steps on that nail.
All right. So that was another point I meant to bring up. If we're doing a reality check here, think about the time that the movie was like it was in the 80s, right? Maybe early 90s.
Yeah.
Now nowadays we're real touchy about this whole like, oh, if you shoot somebody in your house because they're trying to rob you. There have been people who sued people who are homeowners. Like they try to break into their house, they injure themselves, and then they sue the homeowner, and some of them have won. Now that's kind of like the sign of the times changing. Like in the past, somebody gets on your property and they're not welcome, you can just blow their ass away, like shoot them right out of their shoes, and you're well in your right? Right? Am I wrong? Like old-timey kind of shit, you have total right to just kill somebody. They're not even in your house, they're in your yard.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so.
Now, say this kid killed one of these guys. Say he hit him with a paint can, and it cracked his skull, he fell back, died. Of that time, what do you think would have happened? Like a reality check, like these guys took a beating. They got their asses beat. You know, just beat up left and right throughout the entire movie, and then you know, say this kid killed him.
Oh damn!
What so you know the mom gets home after figuring it all out. She's like, I'm gonna head home. She heads home, and there's this crispy ass dude who's been electrocuted to death, and maybe a fucking guy laying at the foot of the stairs with his skull cracked, and he's bleeding to death. Or he's already dead because he bled to death. What do you think would have happened during the time? Like, you think they would have been like, oh, good job, kid. We'll get rid of these bodies for you. Like, all these robbers deserved it. Good job, kid, and then they leave. Say one of these traps wound up being brutal or fatal.
Yeah. Yeah. Then it's not funny anymore.
So it's like, all right. I mean, that's the reality. Like we allow this movie to carry on, and we continue to watch it because it's it's entertaining. And we're willing to suspend reality for a little bit and go, okay, this kid outsmarts and brutalizes these robbers, these two adult males who are pretty hardened criminals. You know, they're rolling around, going house to house, fearless, and they got crowbars. I don't think they had guns in the first one.
No. But hey, check this out. Joe Pesci. There was a scene at the end when he does get caught, and they hang him on the door. And Joe Pesci's like, he's like gonna bite his finger, and then that's when the old man comes in and just whacks him with the snow. The big ass snow show.
He's gonna do what to him?
No, well, in reality. And when they were making the movie, he was like pretending to bite his finger, and he really did bite it. But that kind of what goes back to what I was saying before, or trying to bring up Austin, where we made him the star, and he's doing all this stuff. Macaulay Culkin is just a kid.
Yeah.
And was it like? That's what I meant. Like, did he get everything he kind of like should have got for doing the role? But when I saw that, like, I just kind of like thought, well, maybe they were just like getting too into the scene, and he might have bit him a little hard or too hard or something. But like, if it weren't a movie, that might be some dark shit, you know. Like, the grown man is like pretending to bite off your finger and kind of does it to where it might leave a mark.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a film, you can get away with that. But I guess what you can get away with did he get what he did? Like, did he get the pay he should have gotten? You know?
Mm.
There's anything of that too, where
you mean like should Macaulay Culkin have been paid a little extra for getting bit?
Nah, well, just for like all the stuff he's doing in the film, you know, like we talk about, you know, doing all these. He's pretty much a superhero.
Yeah. For all these kid films like that, they always get you excited and feel like you're more powerful than you are as a kid. It's empowering.
Yeah, and they usually pay the main star the most.
Also, you're saying the celebrity or the main star. Are you saying that they would pay Macaulay Culkin more than they paid Joe Pesci? Is that what you're saying? I wonder. That's something I'd like to find out. Like, I mean, I think so many people watched it because people wanted to show their kids a Christmas film. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, there's Joe Pesci in it, but like, none of the kids knew who the hell Joe Pesci was.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, they show up to see Home Alone. They're watching a kid do all this ass whooping to a couple of adults. And they get excited and, woo, I want to go home and make a trap that hurts the dog or something, you know, like, oh, I want to go home and do this, like, I want to go defend the house. I wonder, like, damn it, I wish one of us had I didn't have the foresight to hook up my laptop. Usually I don't look shit up.
Me too, I usually have my tablet. But
damn. Fucking lagging this time, we dropped the ball, bro. I wonder, like, if the audience is listening, if you guys have made it this far, please look this up because I'm curious. How much was Macaulay Culkin paid versus Joe Pesci? And I'm only bringing up Joe Pesci because even now I don't know the other guy's name. I know he was in City Slickers, and he was funny. He was hilarious as that guy. Phil. No, he was Phil from City Slickers. This is yet another thing we could have looked up had either of us had the foresight to bring a laptop. Who's the fucking other guy's name, and who got paid the most in this film? Would they pay a kid more than they would the adult, especially a star like Joe Pesci?
And, I mean, at least in that time, like.
Do you think they like, hey, we want a badass to get his ass whooped? Let's get Joe Pesci. And I'm pretty sure that like Casino and fucking Goodfellas and all that, I'm pretty sure all those films came out long before Home Alone. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Like Joe Pesci, he wasn't a small time star.
Nah.
When Home Alone came out, right?
I mean, actually, I don't know. I know Joe Pesci's done a lot of good stuff. I just don't know when this come out.
Yeah, I don't either. Again, something we could have looked up. I'm starting to think we need a fucking. I need an assistant now.
Oh,
are we that big yet? Are we big enough to have an assistant?
We're taking interns.
All right, yeah, we're announcing that now. Wednesday night interns.
Yeah, to Google stuff for us.
Unpaid. I'm going to say that now. Unpaid. You're going to be paid with work experience. You're going to be paid in work experience. But we need interns now.
Wisdom.
To handle the technical side and be our look. We need a Jamie here. We need a Jamie to look this shit up.
So we need a Siri.
Yeah, we could have had an
Alexa
to look this shit up for us. All right, do you have any last words? Like, I think we've covered what we came to cover here.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you have anything else to say about Home Alone?
No,
or Macaulay Culkin or childhood?
No, just I have no. Watch The Good Son if you haven't watched that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I don't want to say Macaulay Culkin is just the Home Alone kid. Like if you watch The Good Son, that shit is fucked up. And if you haven't seen it, you gotta go watch it. I'm not even gonna spoil it. I ain't even gonna spoil anything on that. Because if you've known Macaulay Culkin your whole life to be the Home Alone kid, go watch fucking The Good Son. Good point. I salute you for that, sir. Good point.
We might even do a podcast on that. Because that was that's the ending scene. You know how it ended?
Yeah.
You know? That was...
Don't spoil it, bro. Don't spoil it.
And it was shot well, too. Like...
Yeah, it was. The whole fucking film was dark. Like, it was edgy and dark.
The snow... The freeway.
Yeah, it seemed cold as fuck. It almost felt like we were in Ireland. Like it was just cold. Like just a cold breeze blowing.
Pretty sure that was intentional, but...
Dan, the beginnings of Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood.
For sure.
He had the fucking bowl cut haircut. Classic.
Was that the crew cut?
No, it was a bowl cut, bro. He had that, like, the straight line cut all around his head. I can see it in my head.
Huh.
How about that?
Right? We should do a Christmas screenplay.
What do you mean?
We'll do our own Christmas version of out of Home Alone, but it feels like Home Alone used Christmas as a platform, but they brought in all these different
interesting
other things.
I would like to see Home Alone done again, but like a dark way, like dark as fuck. You know, there's blood, guts, and the kid.
Kind of like a Kill Bill. Like Quentin Tarantino directed.
Yeah, there you go. Quentin Tarantino directs Home Alone fucking 15. Home Alone 4? I feel like there was only 3. Again, we need an intern to look this shit up. Or one of us needs to make sure we always have a laptop.
Either or, man. I'm doing this in my garage. In my room, I have a computer, and I usually can look up stuff.
Yeah, normally my setup includes my laptop, but we haven't used, I haven't used it in the majority of our shit, so I'm always like, do I really need it? And all of a sudden, we fucking need it for every other thing we brought up here. Yeah.
That's a lesson.
Yeah, well, we're still learning here, people.
That's a Christmas lesson.
It's a Christmas miracle! Okay. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm gonna get to work on that twofer I was talking about. Hopefully, get another episode up for this week, or maybe this is the one. How many more weeks do we have till Christmas? Like one more week. Next week is the last week. This might have to be it then, brother.
Yeah, I'm down. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Oh, yeah.
And dude, I was hoping you were gonna add it. And a Happy New Year. All right, I'm hitting the.
Oh my God!
Goddamn. All right, Sky's dying at the end of this episode. All right, hitting the big red button. Peace.
Hit it.